Hey everybody, don't move now y'all because you're balancing on top of a lamp thing here and you could keel over at any minute if you move too much. So I'm hoping it's going to be, is it going? Yeah, it's going. I'm videoing, I think. It's been a while since I've had my phone on. Okay, well here I am in all my glory. I haven't made a video in a while. I haven't had much to say on Facebook in a while. I have been up, I have not showered, I have not brushed my teeth or washed my face. I have taken a bicycle ride and I have come home. And in the middle of my bicycle ride, which I haven't done for a couple of weeks, I had a little mini revelation. Now, I have Janie teasing me here on Facebook about it. I hope you're going to make a video. Yeah. Okay. Remember I made a video a while back about comparison is a thief of joy. And we needed to stop comparing ourselves to other people and find our authentic selves and learn to be comfortable in our own skin and be at peace with who we are in this moment. Well, as I rode my bicycle, I had a new revelation for myself on comparison is the thief of joy, and that is self-comparison with the person you were before, the person you could be in the future, where you've been compared to where you are right now. If you're not where you want to be right now and you feel like you're paling in comparison to your former self, that is equally as horrific, and a comparison is a thief of joy. That will steal your joy, God, almost worse, because then you're not only comparing yourself to the person you had achieved that you were, let's just use me as an example. You know, last year when I moved here, I was 130 pounds. Granted, we've all talked about how I was probably too thin, but that's a whole nother ball game. You know, you go down this slippery slope, you're working at it, you're doing it, you follow your body to the end, and you get off, and my body stopped at 130, and it stayed there for about, a year and a half, 130, 133. Okay. Got through the family wedding, moved here, boom, the scale started to progressively go up. And so here it comes to be summertime again. I'm 1 week short almost of when we moved here last year, 1 year in England. And my body has definitely changed. It is my third year post RNY, and November will be my fourth year anniversary of having my RNY surgery. November of 2009. This is November 2013. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it'll be 4 years. So, whatever. So comparing myself, when I went to try on my summer clothes that I brought with me last summer when I first moved here that I had been able to wear, not thinking I would gain, thinking I would at least maintain, I brought what I owned, and a lot of those things do not fit me comfortably. I have not broached trying them all on, but I had a party to go to, so I tried on a couple of things, and there was a dress I couldn't even pull over my head. Now, granted, it was a non-stretchy, straight down, and it probably was on the small side when I bought it, but at least it went over my body. So, when do you stop comparing yourself, even to yourself? Because to compare yourself to your past successes, when you feel like you're in a place of less success, if you want to put it that way, not only do you feel badly about the difference, like when you compare yourself to someone else and you want to be, how come that person can do this and I can't? Or how come that person can be that size and I can't do it? Or how come that person isn't struggling not to eat or drink or whatever and I am? Not only do you have that part of the comparison, but then you beat yourself up even more because the person you're comparing yourself to is your previous success, not another person who you couldn't control or had no part in their level of achievement, but more how the mighty have fallen. So I'm here to be straight up honest with you guys. I am, and then the next part of that equation is, if you want to make sure you're really, really 110% back on track, the first anxiety you have as many years out as I am is, can you really lose any? Again, can you really lose? How much do you really, and I don't like to do the number thing too much. I haven't even gotten on the scale. So I'm just telling myself, I'm not getting on the scale. It's not that I've done anything so horrific in my behavior. I do drink more, which I shouldn't do at all. But now I am back on antidepressants, so I will not be drinking. That is going to be a real challenge for me, to not have a glass of wine at the witching hour, which I will not lie had gotten pretty chronic. Part of that was just patterns of behavior that were poor, that were becoming habitual, which I needed to not do. Going from this much wine to this much wine to this much wine, or then maybe even 2 or 3 glasses on occasions, and sometimes even more than that. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing for anybody, much less an RNY patient, much less a person whose mother was a serious alcoholic. Okay, so I'm being really honest. This is my history. When I'm on antidepressants or medication, which I haven't been on in 3 years, I tend to not have a need. I don't feel a need. I'm not stressed. I'm not anxious. I don't need to relax that way. I'm better. So the issue with the drinking was getting more to be out of boredom, much like we used to eat out of boredom, or still could eat out of boredom, or just habit, pure habit. So my challenge now is to remember that my health is really important. The antidepressant I'm on is Cymbalta. It's certainly not something that I need to, apparently it has some effect on your liver anyway if you're not careful. I'm not planning on being on this forever, but like I said, something about the lovely weather here in the winter and the long fall just took me to a place I'd forgotten I could be. And I just insisted I needed to try to do this again and get stronger and better, which I feel stronger and better already. Okay, so my next challenge is, all right, 6-7 minutes up. My next challenge is, can I find the internal motivation to really, really, totally give myself like a week of, hardcore, I don't want to call it a cleanse because I'm just not into that, but really uber healthy eating. I believe that I can. I don't feel like it's going to be incredibly challenging not to eat certain things right now, but I worry about my ability for follow-through, the serious follow-through. Like when I'm on track, I'm on track. When I'm on track with moving and exercising, just feeling good about moving, I'm really good. But I'd had a week where that didn't happen because too many things got in my way and I got busy with the busyness of life, doing volunteer stuff, helping other people, whatever, wearing myself out in one form of exercise like walking 12 miles so that the next day I couldn't move my body to do something else. But today is a new day. I have ridden my bicycle. I have taken my antidepressants. I have had a shake, which I really never do shakes. I had a really good shake for breakfast. I'm going to eat like tuna and cottage cheese and salad and cucumbers and the usual healthy stuff that I used to think of as diet food back when we dieted, just to really get myself cleaned up. So, having said that, my motivation is simply to say I cannot beat myself up. It serves no purpose to say, what a terrible person you are, you have backslid. What a terrible person you are, you've gained weight. Do you know why you've gained weight? Hell no. Do you think you might gain weight on these meds? You might. Yeah, what are you going to do then, Sal, if you gain weight on taking antidepressants? Gee, you know what? That's going to be another one I'm going to have to deal with when I get there. I need to stop comparing either the number on the scale or my body, because increased weight, even though I kind of like the shape I am now, in some ways has definitely affected parts of me that got plastic surgery. It has affected my arms. So if, there's certain ways if I hold my arms, there's a big pooch that, actually the arms aren't that great. But anyway, they're definitely, that's where some of the weight has come back. I mean, down here where it's really soft. Now, I haven't done a lot of body pump in the last week, but that's right on the schedule too. My thighs, that's where all the weight goes, let's face it. So I struggle with that. I struggle with looking in the mirror and seeing that I'm broader. I'm probably wearing a medium rather than a small, and some things a large. But it's okay. It's not about that. It's about being able to put my clothes on and feel comfortable. And I caught myself last week having anxiety about going out in public. What was I going to wear that was flattering? I haven't worried about that in so long because everything seemed flattering when you're in a place you've never been and you feel good about your body. Now, if I'm 10, I'm sure I'm at least 10. I could be 15. I could be 20 pounds up, folks. No lie. I have no idea, and I don't want to do a hip check on that right now. I want to do the process correctly, feel strong, focused, and just feel good about embracing life again. So, no more comparison, the thighs before surgery to the thighs after surgery, because you know how I feel about my thighs after surgery. The arms, I can't worry about the scars on my face. There's nothing I can do. I can't compare the skin I had before to the skin I had after I did what I did. There's things that if I could go back and do differently, I can. But what is the point of looking back? Looking back does nothing. You can learn from your mistakes. Some of that was a mistake, but it doesn't mean I would have made those choices again. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of things we do. We don't really know the end result. So I just want to encourage you today to try to own your own place. Now I want to read this. Janie had a wonderful thing on her Facebook page, and I suggest that you guys check that out today. But I wanted to say this. This is on my page. After I wrote "Comparison is the thief of joy," even if you're the only person involved in the comparison, that was my revelation from the morning bike ride. And then I found another thing a friend of mine wrote. Well, she didn't write it. She posted it. Freedom comes from within. It comes from getting to know who you really are and releasing all limiting beliefs. As you release your limiting beliefs and stand in your truth, your example shines as a light for the whole world to see. Freedom will be yours when you give yourself permission to live authentically. I want to give myself permission to live authentically, which I think you guys would say I kind of do. I guess if you come out here and bare your soul and you're straight and you don't pretend to yourself and you don't pretend to other people, that's living pretty authentically. I'm the first to own my foibles, my shortcomings. Actually, and the flip side of that, I'm the first one to beat up on myself for stuff that's not necessary. But that's always authentic. I don't know how to be any other way than transparent. It doesn't always help, but it is who I am. So, releasing all limiting beliefs, comparing yourself to others or your past successes, if you don't feel like you're in the same place you were quite as successfully, is a limiting belief. It limits my belief that I can be stronger and better regardless of my form, as long as I am moving and making healthy food choices. Whether the scale is 20 pounds up for the rest of my life, or 10 pounds down, it can all be good if I know I can stand authentically before myself and you and say, I live a healthful, moving, honest, not excessive life. And that's what I want to do here. I want to be able to say, I have any kind of drinking issues under control. I don't have any carb monster issues right now. I don't need to have sugar all the time. I don't need to eat cheese with wine. I've got a lot of those things pretty honed down right now. But some of them need some work. But I need to be authentic and not think that because I am I like to live like I'd rather do a healthy 85-15 rule on a daily life existence. I don't like to have a cheat day. I'd rather go that 85% of my life I am more healthy than the average person tends to eat, move more than the average person tends to move. Not a superstar, not an athlete, not someone trying to lose 150 to 200 pounds right this minute, but living as a 55-year-old woman would be living. Better than most. 15% area of gray per little room to breathe. That's the way I want to live my life. So here I am back again. This is awfully long and I'm sorry, but I just thought I'd share who I am, where I'm at, and what's going on. And that's pretty much life in the lane of maintenance and beyond maintenance, just, I think, morphing from the word maintenance even to just living. Just living. I want to live. and be happy and embrace life. And that's really what it's all about. So I'll give you guys a goodbye. I'm going to stand up to turn this thing off so it doesn't, whatever. But anyway, you might as well get a body shot, and you'll all say, oh, you look fine, blah, blah. I know that. I know. A little broader in the beam, a little saddlebaggy, but I can still move, and I'm still good. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. Bye.